Alright, our mic is working. Let's check the YouTube. Check in YouTube. Alright. There we go. Cool. Good job. Go me. Alright, we got some sound. We got a text. Let's see what that was. Probably my parents being like, "Are you going to stream today?" Alright. We're streaming a couple minutes early because I gotta get sorted things cleaned up. Because my craft room is a fucking total mess. This week my house has been being torn apart by dudes who were rebuilding our bathroom. Because our old bathroom was kind of old. And my husband, he wanted a new one. He wanted it to be a fancy man bathroom. So we now have a fancy man bathroom, which is very nice. But it means that everything's been all torn up. I haven't really been able to paint. I've tried a couple times, but honestly everything was so covered in dust and like stuff from cutting the tile and all that it was a nightmare. A lot of that's been resolved now. They had a big sucker thing in here that sucked a lot of it up. Not all of it. This place is still kind of a mess, but it's getting better. Okay, so I have a lot of projects. My desk right now is covered in like 40 different kinds of paint. I have a lot of projects on the go that are sort of big projects. I need to finish some of them up, but I'm not going to do it today. Today I'm going to make it worse. So this week, since I couldn't paint, I started building my Lizard Man army that I've been collecting but not building for a little while now. So I had the start collecting Skinks, start collecting Seraphon. I got the Celestial Stampede for my birthday. And then I had bought the Lizard Man Blood Bowl team, the Lizard Man, the fuck are they called? Underworld's team. And I had also bought the Endless Spells, one with the big snake. So this week I've been putting some of it together. Some of it's a little rough because I was just sort of building downstairs with my dog. So there's a lot of mold lines, a lot of nubs and stuff. Not all of it's built. I still have a bunch of Saurus Warriors to build. I did not get to finish them. And I have a ton of leftover pieces I need to figure out what to do with. So like little bangles that hang off the dinosaurs and little extra skinks. I think I have literally the entire second unit of skinks in like just in extra units just from extra pieces that I didn't put on all the dinosaurs. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at that in a little bit. I also have my orcs going on. They're my I'm going to swap over cameras. They're my Mad Max Fury Road orcs. Been working on them a little bit. So you can see the Daka farmer here. He got his Daka hat. So he's got his weird hat made out of bullets, just like in the movie. So he's all finished. And then we finished up the Rucka Truck Squig Buggy and took a look at that. And then right now for orcs, what I have built that's not done is this guy. So this is going to be Orctus or Rectus. He's going to be a war boss and Death Killer Wartrike. And then I have 3 orc bikers who aren't finished yet either. They're in various states of paint. They just need a little bit of love and they'll be. So like one evening of painting will finish all 3 of these bikers kind of thing. On top of that, I have some Slanesh stuff. Sorry, he's magnetized. I have some Slanesh stuff for Warcry. So I've got 3 of these guys. We painted some of these on stream. Specifically, we painted this guy on stream. Right here. So we painted him on stream. He needs a little bit of touch up. And then we painted most of this guy on stream, and he needs a little bit of love still, and he's good too. So we got all 3 of them, and then I've got a whole unit of 4 of these? 5 of these? How many is in a freaking unit of these? 3, 4... Yeah, 5. I've got a whole unit of 5 of these that I need to paint up. And they're just for Warcry. So they're going to be a Warcry team. It's going to be Seekers and other sort of monsters. So I still have to finish them. I also have my sisters. Now my sisters, they're on hold because I'm waiting for a paint to come in for them. I'm really happy with how they are looking. But honestly, painting them is kind of a pain in the tail. So I have a paint coming in to try to do the purple easier. So the purple in them is a real pain in the ass to paint. So I have a paint coming in to try to make that easier. I also need to do things like little details and stuff, and they all need to get washes and all, but we'll do that after we do the paint. So they're on hold until I get my paint. This guy, he needs a base. I will probably knock that out tonight off camera so that he can just be done and go into the cabinet with everybody else. He's a really fun project, and he's going to be really fun on the table because he's just so different. But I would like to have him finished and off my desk, off my painting table. And then I have Cursed City, which I'm slowly plugging away at. And then I have my Tyranids, who I'm still working on a color scheme for. This was my last attempt. I was pretty happy with it, but I think the dark purple robs them of a lot of detail. So we're going to work on that some more. We're going to probably redo that. I am probably going to strip all of them. I got a bunch of strippers, so they will probably go in a bucket this week for a couple hours and get pulled out and melted. Not melted, but, stripped. Scrubbed to the toothbrush and all that stuff. So they will probably do that, just so I can have a little bit fresh start with them. I'm also going to do a bunch more kit bashing on them, because I think I need to ratchet up my kit bashing to make them really cool. Because I've done some kit bashing on them, but not enough to where I would like to be at. So, with that being said, that's sort of all my outstanding projects. This is a lady we started painting on stream the other day. She still needs some love. Still trying to go through that translucent cloth kind of look. We still need some love there. We're still working on it. I think I figured out an order of operations for her to make it nice and easy to do translucent cloth. Which is good, because I've got 7-8 more of them to do. Okay, so let's take a look at the dinosaurs real quick. So, we have an 8-man unit of these bros right here. These are the guys on Saurus Riders. They're a little bit rough models because of their age. See the gaps and stuff. And because I just assembled them a little bit rough, like I was just building them downstairs with my dog. So they need some cleanup and some love. I did manage to get I feel like some pretty dynamic, fun poses out of them. Like here's one like riding to the side that he's going to stab you. But there are some gaps and stuff like that just need some cleanup. Some nubs, some mold lines, stuff like that. So I've got a whole unit of 8 of those that need some love. I also have the Troglodon, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful model. Hello! I love this thing so much. He's pretty much just built like just right off the instructions. No customization or anything, because he's just such a fantastic model. I wanted him pretty much as is. So he needs some love still. He needs a little bit of mold line cleanup, a little bit of nub cleanup, and then he's good to prime. Then we have the extra guy that comes with him if you build the Troglodon and not the Tiger Dragon. And this is the Saurus Commander guy. I don't remember what he's called. But I magnetized him just with a 1mm magnet. It's actually more like a 2mm magnet, to be completely honest. But they market it as a 1mm magnet. But yeah, I got this 1mm magnet here and in the hand. So he can swap out the different weapons, because he can have this sword, a bigger sword, or a spear. So I've got all of those magnetized. So depending on which one I want him to be, he can do that. We also have a box of dinosaurs. So these are the unfinished Saurus. I just basically glue them down to their bases, cut them off the little strip they come on, and put their legs on. So that's pretty much all I've done with those. But I have an entire unit of skinks with spears. I went with the spears because they just really seem to be very fitting weapons for who the skinks are. Hello! We got some of the Underworld's Warband guys here. They're really fun models as well. They have a lot of personality to them. This guy, for example, he's going to be my Saurus Oldblood, because the actual Saurus Oldblood model is like a metal or a fine cast or something, and it's just terrible. So he's going to be my Saurus Oldblood. And then I've got this big old honking dinosaur with a death laser on its back. So he's pretty rad. I did a little bit of customization on him, but not a ton. But he's pretty sweet. We'll put him off to the side there. I have the Stegodon from the Celestial Stampede. So I built him with the flamethrower on his back. Since this guy's going to be a melee and stuff, I gave him the bigger crest. I thought that made more sense. But he's got some skinks on his back there with all flamethrowers and a bunch of extra shields and stuff. He's going to get a little bit more customization. Hold on, I've got little skinks everywhere. I don't want to crush them. And then I have this guy with the Arc of Sotek. I kept the extra extra guys off his back. I was not a fan of how they attached. It looked really weird. So it means that I'm going to have some gaps I need to fill here and here and here where their foot pads would normally go. So I do need to do that. But he was really cool. I gave him extra snakes on his base there. He's got a bunch of extra snakes on his base, and he's got extra snakes pouring out of the arc. Because I was just like, man, it's a gun that shoots snakes. It's only cooler if it has more snakes. So that's pretty rad. We have a skink Star Priest, who is built just standard right out the box. Really, really awesome model. Lots of cool room for painting on him. So he just came from the start collecting. He's just right out the box. Alright, let me put some of these dinosaurs away and we'll look at the last big dinosaur I have. I will admit, with building all these dinosaurs, the urge to buy a Dread Saurian has been rising, but I really don't want to deal with all that resin, so I'm going to not do that. Alright, and then we have the Ark of the Engine of the Gods. And that's this big dinosaur. So he's got a bunch of skinks on his platform there. He's got a big skink priest on the top. And I put skinks all over the sides because I thought that looked really cool. And this guy's pretty much like the exact same other Stegodon the base model is. But I wanted him to stand out and be a little more centerpiecey. So I put skinks on his base because he'll stand out a little bit better than I thought. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got a little bit of customization. I gave him some extra armors like this and stuff, just to make him a little bit more fancy, which is pretty darn sweet. So very, very cool model. The guy with the blowpipe there, I need to drill the blowpipe out. But awesome model. The Engine of the Gods. So that's all my dinosaurs I have built. So they will probably just go on the shelf for a little bit while I tidy up some other projects before I get back to painting. Oh, there's the big hammer for this guy. This weapon's really cool. I'll show it off. So yeah, so it's like a big maul cleaver thing. It's really, really cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, and then they'll get primed and we'll do some crazy dino patterns. Alright, Gift from a friend I got. I got a shock jump dragster from a friend, which is really nice. Super, super cool. He gave me this. So I'll have to build that up at some point. It's another orc truck to go with the rest of my Fury Road orcs. Other stuff is downstairs. I got some really other cool models, but they're all downstairs right now. But the thing, I should be painting and working on things that, you know, aren't done yet. But screw that. We're not going to do that because I'm horrible. Instead, we're going to work on this big orc robot. Because that's the kind of responsible hobbyist I am. So let's swap cams so you can see it better. So this is a Gorkanaut, or a Morkanaut. This is a big orc robot. It's like a step up from a Death Dread. But it's not quite like Imperial Knight kind of level. It's about that same size though, but it's like it exists between like an Arminger and a Knight kind of. But it's pretty awesome, and I'm gonna do a bunch of cool customization for it. I have a Mangler's wig that I got from a friend that's pretty beaten up and broken. So I'm actually gonna cannibalize that, and I'm gonna build this. But right where that head goes, I'm gonna stick a Mangler squig and then like wire him in like he's driving it. So this whole thing's gonna be like a big Mangler squig power suit. And I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's really cool. So we're gonna get some of him built today. We're gonna get some of the body built and all, just so I have some idea of what's there. I think there's gonna be a lot of empty space in the body, so I might actually hook up some LEDs and stuff in this guy, because I think this whole like body section here is going to be, oh, hold up, yeah, I think this whole body section here, I think that's going to be hollow, so I think it'd be an awesome place to put a battery. Alright, so there he is, and then there's one more runner that I had pulled out of the box already, just because I have no idea how they got all these runners into that tiny box. Now we'll move this out of the way. And move this Mr. Orc out of the way. Oh, also to show off really, really quick, the Psychomancer. This thing is an awesome, awesome model. It is really, really cool. It was a fucking nightmare to build. Definitely, hello. Definitely one of the most fiddly models to build I've ever built. It was as fiddly as the Slanesh Riders, and they were the most fiddly thing I've ever built. Even to the point where like I had to just straight up just bend the plastic for the arm to get it to like line up with him pointing with the skull, because otherwise it just didn't line up. Probably because I built something wrong. But awesome model, and he's going to be the main leader for my Necrons, but man, he was a fucking bitch to build. Alright, so let's see, this is the Morkanaut. The main difference here is basically what the main armament is, and that's the Gorkanaut. It's like, do you want it to have more like machine gun shooting or more laser shooting? I'm probably going to go with the big machine gun arm. I think it's cooler. This is his base. Put that off to the side. And we're gonna get looking at what we gotta get looking at. Okay. Instructions are all screwed up from me putting it back in the box wrong. Alright. Back you up a little bit, camera, maybe? Boop, boop. Cool. Alright, sweet. Okay, so first off, it wants me to build the feets. The feet actually have joints in them. The toes have joints, which is really, really neat. As do the knees, as do a lot of stuff. So there's actually... Yeah, see, he's got this big belly. I think that's totally hollow. Does it actually... Hold on, I think I'm on the wrong step because it's showing the big belly already built. Okay, here we go. Alright. Yeah, let's do that first. Alright. 82, 70, 71. So the runners for this have a ton of really nice detail. He's gonna be a big chunky boy. For sure. Alright, so we're looking for 70. There we go. I'm just gonna snip these out. So yeah, my plan for this right now is to just swap the head out with a Mangler Squig. So it's like a big Mangler Squig power suit. But honestly, when I get to see more of what space is here in the body and like what is, you know, stuff like that, I might make some more changes to it. Particular, I might actually run a bunch of LEDs in it. I think that might look really cool. Then I need 82. Where's 82? Is that this one? Yes. I also have an entire bits box of orc bits. Particularly some really cool big like exhaust pipes that I've been dying to put on something. From the Dakajet. When you buy a Dakajet, you actually get 2 sets of the exhaust pipes that run the entire length of the Dakajet, just because they're on the runner. I'm not sure why they're on the runner. I think there's a slight difference between the Dakajet and the Wasboom blast jet in the pipes, but like you basically get a full second set of them, and they're really cool piece. All right, so what is this? Is this hips? No. This is shoulders. That's what this is. Okay. So I looks like we can build the whole thing and not close it off, which is good because then we'll have the extra space on the inside in case we want to do magnets or whatever. Because I'm not sure how any of this works yet. So we'll build parts of it, and then we'll stop and analyze what we've got and what we're doing. All right, so that goes forward. This goes like that. Goes like that. Okay, so let's get these nubs going. There we go. Just using plastic glue as always. And that's that right there. And same thing for this side. Just checking to make sure we don't got no nubs in the way. And that's just going to go like that. So we can... Oh! I was like, what the fuck is that? It was the glue cap. Man, how to tell I'm fried as hell. I get spooked by a fucking glue cap. Alright. There we go. Yeah, so he's going to have a lot of empty space on the inside, which is good, because then we can put lots of detail in there or use it to store things like battery. Alright, so 49. I swore it was on this runner. 32, 32, 32. Oh, this is really cool piece. These are actually the face shields. They're really cool pieces. We'll definitely use them for something else. If I'm going to replace this guy's head with a what's it called? That's all weapons and arms and feet and pilots. Really, was it back on the runner that I just put away? Did I just totally miss it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Derp. Alright. Okay, and then this. just goes on top. So I'm making sure I dry fit everything. So yeah, that's just going to go on top like that. But yeah, I'm making sure I dry fit everything just because in case I put something down and it blocks like everything off and I can't get to it anymore, I want to know that beforehand rather than after. So I'm making sure that I still have access to all the inside and stuff. Okay. There we go. So yeah, so this is part of the body for sure. This is the front of the body. This is the back of the body. These are the shoulders. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think that's what that is anyway. All right, so let's get building this here. And it looks like we actually don't glue the doors on and then we can open and close them. So we're going to do that. Those are the doors there. All right, so we're going to look for a 32 and 31, neither of which are on this runner. Are they on this runner? Let us hope. 32. But yeah, we could run LEDs for like lights that are on this thing, or to like light up the inside, or to like light up the inside of the mangler squig that's going to be the head, or all kinds of stuff. So there's also a lot of like grading and stuff, so if we put lights on the inside it would come through and look pretty rad. But let's see what we got, and then we can make the choices from there. Alright, so that's this guy. And then that's going to go like that and form the basis for the body right there. And this is largely just assembling, like, you know, we're following the instructions, but we're not here to actually assemble the model. We're here to see what, you know, we're here to assemble parts of it so we have an idea of what kind of kit bashing we can do, right? Because it's very hard to kit bash something if you don't have anything to go off of. Like, just pulling it out of your brain is super, super hard. You know, unless you really study like pictures of the built model and you're like, I want to change this and I want to change this, you know. But usually what ends up happening is you end up getting like a rough idea off of that, right? Like, you know, I have a rough idea. I want to give this thing a mangler squig head, but you know, like, I don't have any other idea beyond that, right? Like, I don't know exactly how to accomplish it other than, you know, I think the size is going to be about right. And that's it. You know, like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just won't put the head on, and I'll put the mangler squig in there, right? I have no actual idea if that's going to work or not. I haven't tested the sizes or anything, so that's kind of what we're trying to do here. There are tons of nice little details on this big orc robot. Okay. So we've got this, and then we've got these sides. This goes like that, I guess. Yeah, it does. Weird. Okay. All right, so we'll pop some glue in there on one side. When you're sort of assembling these big things like this, right, and they have like, oh, you know, all these pieces that sort of need to fit on each other, right? Like, it's much better to assemble to one side and then assemble everything else to that than it is to try to do both sides at the same time. It's like that IKEA furniture idea, right? Like, you know, you build the base and then you put the legs on. You don't try holding the base up and putting all the legs on at the same time, you know, because it gets more fiddly. So, like, see, now I have this nice clear slide I can just put on, no probs. Right? Like, no trubs at all there, how that works. So it takes what could potentially be a little bit of a fiddly section and just turns it into nothing. Right, like we're not going to have any troubles at all with it now. Just cleaning up a little bit extra flash that was on there. We're going to put our glue down. And here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Right, and then we're going to put our other side on. Come on, sucker. There we go. There we go. Oh, see, we have a little bit of a nub there. I didn't properly check when I was dry fitting it. A little bit of nub. Going to over snip a little bit by accident, but it's okay. You'll never see it. There we go. Yeah, see, I over snipped way too much off that, but it's okay. You'll never see it. And it's an orc vehicle, so being kind of busted and rickety is the point of orc vehicles. All right. Okay, so that's that. And we have this piece number here, number 60. So let's find that. Can this thing actually, since the front opens up, I actually wonder if this thing is actually a troop transport, to be honest. I actually don't know the rules, if it is or isn't. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if I could throw like 10 boys in here and be like, you know, transport them across the battlefield. That'd be super, super rad. And these are the doors. Check chat. There we go. Oh, and then we need the collar piece, which is actually on. No, that's the collar piece. I'm just going to need this 59 here. Ah, there's the collar piece. I am blind. Okay. So now once we have the body assembled, we should have a good idea of what's going to be possible with this sucker. There we go. Okay. So this piece goes right here, like that. Let's go ahead and get him glued down, because that will just help keep this thing a little bit more stable. Just like that. There we go. It's weird, he's got like battle damage, but kind of looks like stretch marks. I feel you, Gorkanaut. I feel you. Okay, and then we got 59, which is going to go back here. Like that. And then we have a big, nice orc box built. Our legs are pretty much going to line up with the body, right? So like it pretty much sits on the base just like that, just flat. You know, with this touching the bottom, and the legs are just going to be like clunk, like that. Got a little bit of nubs there. We'll clean up. Go. Let's sit a little bit more flush. Okay, and then this is going to go. Wait, how the fuck does this go? Because these go like this, right? And they're the front. And then this holds them on like that. Just like that, right? So that's going to be our box. So we're going to have a ton of room in there, and this is going to open and close. Couple other neat things are the fact there's all these grates and stuff on here. So if we do put LEDs in there, the light will shine through. That's really neat. Also, this we could very easily replace with an LED. So that would be kind of cool as well. If you want to throw some lights in this sucker. But yeah, we've got a lot of room in there for a switch and a battery. Alright, so we could easily put a battery, like a 9-volt in there, and have access to change it in and out because the doors open and close. And we could easily dump a switch in there as well. So that would be pretty cool. Alright, so let's look at the instructions. We're not going to build any more of this. We're not going to glue it down yet. Okay. So that's the doors. This is the body. And then this attaches like that. Okay. I see. Okay, so that means the head goes here. Alright, that's what that means. So my Mangler squig needs to fit in there. That's actually going to be a really tight fit for a Mangler squig. So I will have to get one of those and test it out. Because that's going to be a really tight fit. Yeah, and then the legs are going to go on the sides, and then the arms go on the sides like that. The arms, let's look at how they attach, because the legs are just a straight peg. I'm not worried about magnetizing them, just because I don't think it's needed to. The arms, let's build one of the arms, and we can see how it attaches. Then we can see about magnetizing it. So, all right, so we've got this one down here. This is going to be the big claw arm. So let's look at that. So that's. Here we go. 23, 24. This is his big grabber arm. Yeah, with the Beast Snegas coming out, I kind of really like the idea of doing a like a Mangler squig driven Gorkanaut. I think it's really fun. We need 89, which is right there. So they swapped the arms for the sides on this kit between the Gorkanaut and the Morkanaut. But honestly, it doesn't matter which side it's on. What matters is what guns it has. Alright, so there's our arm right there. Alright, so let's get some glue on that. Yeah, the other thing I also think doesn't matter is what weapon you have on top and which weapon you have on the wrist. I think that doesn't matter either. But I'm not 100% sure on that one. Okay, so there's the upper arm, and then this is going to be our shoulder right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to attach that like that. Okay. Now, this is the front of the body like that. No, that's the front of the body like that. This is going to plug in like that. Crap. so we can magnetize this, but the problem is that it might not be able to, like, the magnets might do this. They might go and droop down because there might not be enough friction to like have or strengthen the magnets to hold the arm out like that. So that's interesting. So you can see how it fits in there. This is the peg here. All right, one sec. Just taking in the instructions, seeing what steps we got, so we can see what we can modify and stuff. All right, so 126 is part of the wrist. And then we need this pole here, which is the pin for the fingers. So there's that. And then we need 98, 99, which are these big claws here. And these are just going to run through on that pin. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for how the pieces go together and stuff. And then we need 126. Which is somewhere. There's 127. There it is, 126. Yeah, so this is going to be the wrist joint and the hand all in one. So if we wanted to magnetize the fingers, that's where we'd have to do it. Oh, wait, I got to get another claw, apparently. Apparently I only clipped out one claw. Claws are apparently two sides. So yeah, we might end up having to actually fix this arm. But we'll see. So like I said, this isn't us trying to like just build it. We're trying to recon, see what's possible for kit bashing here, right? Like this is when I'm making a kit bash, this is my first brain step. This is what I'm going to do so I can see what's possible. You know, you can't build something out of Legos unless you know what Legos you have. You know, you have to have a rough idea of which pieces you can use when and where and what you are actually capable of doing. Because if you're just like, I want to magnetize a unicorn coming out this thing's asshole, you know, that might not be possible with the model you actually have, or with the way the model is actually constructed. Like if you wanted to, say, magnetize the knees of an Imperial Knight, you could do it, but it would also fall down all the fucking time, because there would just never be enough pressure to actually hold it up and keep it upright. Okay. So these, all right, so they're solid in there, so I'm not going to be able to put a magnet in there anyway, so I'm not going to worry about gluing these together. I'm going to be like, okay, it's fine, we can glue them together. It's not going to be a problem. Because like if that was hollow in there, I would actually not glue these together right now till I know 100% what I want to do. Because then I might actually be able to hide a magnet on the inside and not have to drill into it. But because the joint, like it doesn't matter if the claw is solid or hollow or whatever, but because the joint is solid, we're not going to worry about it. Well, a prime example of this is the waist of the Imperial Knight. If you don't if you don't put magnets into the waist until after you assemble it, it is a pain in the tail to magnetize the waist. Otherwise, it's super easy. You just got to pay a little bit of attention as you're building it. You know what I mean? Just slow your roll a little and see what's going on and take all the pieces and stuff into account. Understand how they all work together before you go gluing anything together. Alright, so this is this guy right here. This is the finger joint. So what's going to happen with him is he's going to go in like this. And then these are going to go in like this. Just like that. And that's going to be how they connect and stuff. And then this is our, well, I have them on backwards, but this is our wrist joint, like that. Alright, so that's how that's going to work, just like that. And then this one's going to go in like that as well. So that's how our wrist joint attaches, and then that's how the fingers attach to the wrist joint. And our thumb's going to attach down here. The thumb is like a little chainsaw. We have to clip it out still. There's not really anything holding the fingers on, right? So if I wanted to magnetize the fingers, that would be really easy. That would be super easy to do. Just drop a 5mm magnet on each side and the finger would be magnetized. But I'm not sure what the value of that would be. It might be more fun just to pose them and fix them. But we'll play with it and we'll see. Alright, let me pull this arm back out. So here's our arm again. So he's going to go... Do we want it on the right or the left? Well, let's put it on the right. And he's going to go like that. And that's how he's going to attach. Just like that. Let's pull the fingers out for a minute. We'll look at the wrist. We'll put the wrist in and we'll put that in. Okay. So, a couple of things that stand out to me here that I'm seeing. One, this piece is largely hollow. That means if I want to put a light in there, I can, and it will come out the sides and be really cool. If I wanted to throw a light in there. And this arm, I could basically run wire up and down it, and it would be really cool. Because there's wire all over the models. It would fit the aesthetic really well. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that's really standing out to me is the fact of how wiggly this is. There's going to be a pretty lot of weight on here, and there's really not enough room to put like a 10mm magnet here without it standing out. So to be honest, I might actually be fixing this. I might just full on glue this, and then I might magnetize the fingers. Yeah, I might throw a 5mm magnet in there and then a 5mm magnet in the fingers, and I might magnetize the fingers. But fix the arm. At least here in the wrist, or at least here in the elbow. I might fix it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm probably going to fix the arm sort of like that, like at a mid bend right there. And I will probably run a light bulb down in there before I glue it together. To be honest, I'm not even, I don't even have to really glue these fingers in. So if I want to move them, I don't even know if I have to magnetize them, to be honest. Let me play with that a little bit. Give me a sec. So if this is the fingers, right? Right, if that's the fingers. Right, that's the elbow. Screw the elbow. We'll not worry about the elbow. Right, do I even need to magnetize these? I mean, they kind of already move, really. Do I need to attach anything else to them? Because there's some bits missing there, so it looks like they should... I guess that's for the chainsaw to go into. But yeah, to be honest, I don't really even need to, like... I mean, once I paint it, it's going to be harder to move them. I might actually not even worry about magnetizing them. I kind of would like to magnetize them, though, to be honest. Just so they're not reliant on friction like that. I don't know. I'll debate that. But this, we want it to go on that side, right? Where we want it to go on that side. It goes on the... Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll fix it like, sort of like that, in that position. Got him off the camera. And we'll do that. Alright. So, like I said, we're not really building, we're kind of reconning, right? Like reconning for our build. So, there's our body right there. Right, and then we have the arm that goes in like this. I don't think I have a magnet strong enough for the weight of this arm. It's not a particularly heavy arm, but I don't have one that will hold it without bending, without sagging down. So that's an interesting question, right? Because I would really like to be able to move this arm. Can I do something that uses friction and magnets? Like, can I use the peg here and magnets at the same time? I say. So this is the plight of the kit basher and the person that, you know, does a lot of like secondary work for their models. You know, because like I could have probably actually had this guy fully built already, but that's not really the point here. It's about like figuring out the pieces and figuring out the puzzle of how we want it to go and what extra stuff we want it to do. You know? Because there's so much open space in this thing, I do like the idea of running magnets and stuff in here. I do think that's a really fun idea. Not magnets, I'm sorry. Running lights and stuff, I think is a really fun idea in this model because there's so much empty space. Yeah, I really want to be able to move this arm. I don't want this arm to be fixed. mean, really, I can just do it with just with the freaking friction, but it's not gonna hold. It's not gonna hold strong, unfortunately. I'm pulling it off for right now. Why am I pulling that off? Because one of the ideas that's actually running through my head is actually building a ball joint into this so I have full control over it. Actually basically building articulation into the model versus using magnets for it, because it's such a weird piece to magnetize. So I have a bunch of ball joints that I could build in there, and it would get me movement like off to the side and stuff, which would be really fun. So it's definitely a possibility to do that, to use this and this side and basically build a custom joint for it, so it's like got some more personality to it, and then fix this elbow here. And then let the claw, and then maybe magnetize the claws. Let's look at the thumb. That should help us determine a little bit. Creed 88. Do 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 do. There we go. Excuse me. Lots of nubs, lots of mold lines. Alright, so this just clicks in like that. This goes in like that. This goes like this. Ooh, chainsaw thumb, chainsaw thumb. Does whatever a chainsaw thumb does. Okay, so we could cut these nubs off, drill in, put a 3mm on each side, and 3mm this sucker into being magnetized so it can open and close. What do we benefit from for that, though? Because like I have an urge to magnetize everything, like all the time, like 100% nothing but magnets. Like welcome to Magnet Town, population me kind of thing. I have that desire, but it's not always the best. So if I were to fix this thumb, like say like this, right, like just like that, and then keep the fingers so I can move them, would that, I mean, I think that would give me enough posability to make the hand look different. I think that's probably the best call. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll put him on the side. Let's see. About an hour. Let me go ahead and call it and go grab some lunch and do a little bit of cleaning. And then I will come back and work on this some more, probably, in a little bit. And probably stream some more of my thought process of working on this model. You know, because just, you know, we're not building it. We're really just we're not building it. We're magnetizing it. No, we're not building it. We are really just trying to figure out what, you know, how it goes together, so what we can change and stuff like Like I know one of the things already that I know I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to magnetize the two guns, so it can be a Morkanaut or a Gorkanaut. And we'll put the gun together next time. I think that'll be a little bit more straightforward. And we'll start putting some of this hand together. I'll run the lights in here. We'll glue this. We'll glue this. I'll grab my Mangler squig and we can check the sizes of it. Same thing with like a battery and stuff like that, so we can see what room and clearance is in here. So we can see what we've got, and we'll do that next time. That will probably be later this afternoon. Yeah, and we'll work on this just to show sort of the whole thought process, which I think is really interesting for like a bigger customization project than just, you know, oh, you know, put a magnet in the wrist and then you put the magnet in the hand and pen, pineapple pen, you know, like that. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and we'll call it there. Thank you guys for watching. And I will probably be back later this afternoon with some more stuff. But yeah, just to give an idea how big, it's pretty cool. You could totally lock a Repentia inside there. All right, and that's it for me. Thank you guys.